Bernadette. Well, Bernadette Cipriani-Major. She's been a friend for quite a while and is a member, but she also owns her own company, and it's called abc&d Consultants, an acronym for the definition of her mission, which is accountability, business coaching, and development. That focus is what she provides to businesses through her consulting for both businesses and medical practices. Bernadette first began her career as a certified medical assistant. She had the pleasure of working for physicians both clinically and administratively. Over the past 8 years, she served in the academic environment as a medical assistant instructor, program director, and has held the title of Associate Dean of Academic Affairs. She's trained and developed over 4,000 adult learners and managed over 30 instructors across 7 programs. Please welcome Bernadette.
Thank you.
Bernadette, please go ahead.
I really like this microphone. Really helps me today for sure. Okay, well, what a great segue into training. My name's Bernadette, and my motto is it always starts with people. Anytime you have a compliance, a project, a goal, an objective, there's always people associated with that. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about getting ready. So these are some of the areas that we're going to talk about. Well, it all starts with leadership, as we know, and it's kind of ironic that I'm out in the field going to doctors' offices and visiting with them and talking about the strategies for 2014, and a lot of practice managers can't seem to wrap their hands around all of the compliances at once. And then I always get the question, how am I going to implement all of this stuff and still do my job? So it is going to take some re-engineering, and we're going to talk about that too. I always try to tell the practice managers to go out on the floor and take a pulse of your operations. Your operations is everything to you. With all the compliances that are going to be coming down and all of the things that we have to do, timing is going to be everything. Do you tell your staff to go slower to produce more accuracy, to get the revenue, to get the claims paid? Well, if you slow down your operations, you're slowing down your volume. When you slow down your volume, you can't see a lot of patients. When you can't see a lot of patients, it reflects on your revenue. So it is a double-edged knife. So training and development of your staff with these compliances, ICD-10, getting them that training is going to become very vital to meet all these compliances. But first, your leadership has to understand the goals, the definitions, the objectives of those compliances. Re-engineering job descriptions is going to become vital. Hiring practices, talent management. This is the ultimate in human capital management. You have to put your best people on the best job at the right time, doing the right thing. There's going to be mandatory certifications coming. They're already here. And continuing education is going to become very, very important. You can always outsource experts to come into your practices to give you that extra hand to help with your staff training. There should be checks and balances within your practice. Once you state the goals and the objectives, once you have the people who delegate and lead, then you need to provide the feedback. You always inspect what you expect. You have to check the checker. A lot of practice managers just seem to assign goals and tasks to people, and they're not delegating the right tasks to the right person. Then they have to go back and fix what's broke. This is time, and time is money. It's just that easy, just that simple to understand. Employee involvement is going to become very vital. You hear employee empowerment and employee involvement. They need to understand what their role is. They need to understand the importance of what they do and how it affects your practice. We used to have internal audits where I used to work a long time ago, and the doctor would actually give us incentives, money, for how many errors we found. So we would do team audits. The back would audit the front would audit the back would audit the billers would audit the MAs, and he actually gave prizes. I thought that was the most ingenious thing I've ever heard of, because it really is just a team building effort, and it also does help everybody to understand everybody's role. So it's really, really important to utilize your staff to create that team. I always find it pretty amazing when I go into doctors' offices and ask them how many times they have staff meetings. They look at me like, okay, how do we do that? It's impossible to get everybody together on a lunch hour. Well, that's your most vital time. You should have at least monthly staff meetings. You should talk about the objectives. You should talk about the goals. There's a lot of people who work in doctors' offices that know what HIPAA is, because we taught them that in school. They know what OSHA is. We taught them that in school. They know what injections are and claims. But do they know what meaningful use is? Ask your average employee, do you understand stage 1? What is CMS? Would they be able to tell you these definitions? That's how you can start testing the waters of how much your employees really know and what they don't know. So it's basic, back to basic skill sets. They want to know how the company's doing. I think employers should tell the employees how well they're doing, or that they're falling short of goal, only because it makes it more transparent to the employee, and it helps them get more involved. It helps produce a bigger buy-in. Let's face it, when the company's doing good, we all do good. So understanding that role. ICD-10 is coming. The training is going to be very intense, as you saw from the former speaker. So bringing in-house people in is going to be key for doing lunch and learns. Patient retention is going to be a big, huge thing this year as well. Patient portal, and also understanding the patient outcomes. I had an experience on Sunday that was amazing. Not that I want to promote any urgent care right now, so I'll just say urgent care ABC. I had to go in Sunday. I wasn't feeling well, and the doctor was nice. Everybody was nice. At the end of my visit, they put me on a laptop and had me survey the physician. How was my experience? Was it fast enough? How long did the doctor spend with me? Was I satisfied? Did I feel like the doctor listened? Okay, what is that telling us? That's telling us that they're already starting to report these patient outcomes. That's telling me that they already are starting to get the patient's point of view, which is going to become vital. Workflow operations is going to be the key for 2014. You should study how your operation works to see where the kinks are, what stops, where are the hiccups in the flow of your volume. Fix those things, get team on board. And I just did get something in the mail that I thought was just wonderful. This is a magazine called CMA Today. It's Certified Medical Assisting. My last presentation was about medical assistants needing to get their certifications. The providers are very upset because there's a lot of people that work for them that have not went to a formal school. A lot of people have on-the-job training for 15, 20 years. They don't want to lose those people. So the AAMA came out in January with the assessment-based recognition exam. This is something that now employees can also take to be recognized for the compliances for stage 2 with the EHR systems. So if you want more information about that, you can certainly ask me about that. And I think that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bernadette.